You know what that is? Simply lovely.
What is going on, guys? Welcome back to a Simply Lovely podcast. My name is Corbin, joined with my very beautiful companion, Caleb. What's up, dude?
Nothing much. Finally had a real normal week. Last week was like every night I was watching baseball because Dodgers decided to go 7. Great World Series. Probably the best I've ever seen. And the good guys won in the end. So, well, the bad guys for everyone else, but the good guys for me
us.
won in the end.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, for sure.
We talk about some us, bro.
Bro,
Get out of here.
Dude, I don't follow baseball at all. But whenever I did play Little League Baseball,
Bro,
I was on the Dodgers. I was on the Dodgers, bro. That's all I'm saying.
We've been Dodger fans.
Dude, I was 4 years old whenever I was on the Dodgers, bro. Were you ever on the Dodgers? These are the things we got to think about. Oh, were you actually?
I was. It was actually so clutch because I got a free Los Angeles Dodgers hat that I wore to all the Dodgers baseball games I went to.
I have a Dodgers hat too.
For a few years until I gotta get a new one. I have one from the 2018 World Series, but they lost that one, so I gotta get a world champion one or something.
I got mine at
one
a
of those
hat shop.
Japanese ones where they got the cherry
like
blossoms on it.
Yeah,
that would be a good place to buy a hat. Would be a hat shop.
It was at a hat shop in San Francisco, and I got an LA
yeah,
jersey.
Dude. I mean, you know, Pacers were in the NBA
basically
Finals.
a day one.
Pacers were in the NBA Finals. Dodgers win the World Series in Game 7. Colts getting Sauce Gardner, and Lando Norris is leading the championship. So it's been a good year for me sports wise. I watched this is Call of Duty, so it's a little more niche, but I watched Optic go back to back in World Championships. It's been a successful like sporting event year for me.
Yeah. I think the best thing that's happened this year is Dominic Mysterio winning his Intercontinental Championship. Other than that, everything's been pretty bad. I think I wasted all my luck points on that. Yeah. Well, yeah, Pacers made the finals, of course, which I was hype about. The Colts are doing good, which I always like to see, but Tucker Kraft did just get hurt for the Packers, so I low-key might just have to jump out my window.
Hey, Alpine, though.
And Alpine is last.
It's their track. We should probably...
We're gonna get there. Trust me.
I'll probably actually move on to what this podcast is about. As much as I'm sure we'd love to talk about other sports for a while, we got to talk about the Sao Paulo Grand Prix here in the tail end of the championship fight. Lando with a chance to pull away on the track where he arguably lost the world championship last year. We're entering, and I believe, I know you got some fun facts over there, but I believe we're due for some rain this weekend.
That's what I have heard. And that's kind of what these are called the vital statistics. F1 always comes out with a little thing on their website. And I'm just going to read off some of these that seem kind of important. So, of course, track length, 4.309 kilometers. Honestly, a pretty short track comparatively to some of the other ones. The lap record currently is held by Valtteri Bottas in 2018 with, of course, the Mercedes. That was a minute 10.54 seconds. So, and then, of course, other than that, the biggest thing I want to point out here is that the pole run to turn 1 is to the breaking point, is only 200 meters. So, not a very far distance to go at all. And on top of that, safety car probability is at 86% here. That's probably the biggest key takeaway.
Last 3 winners, I know is Max. Max is on 2 in a row, and then it was George Russell before that. So,
yes.
In a year where Max was winning a lot, not quite as much as he did the next year, but that was the one track that the Mercedes that George Russell was in actually pulled ahead. I was about to say something. Oh, important note, this race, 12 p.m. Eastern, which is like perfect timing. First off, the Colts, they're playing in Germany, so that game's in the morning when I would normally be watching F1, and then the race starts when I would normally be watching football. But 12 p.m. means that the race will be over before we get too deep into the NFL games, you know what I'm saying? So that's something that always sucks about these Western Hemisphere races is you get they always like line up at the worst possible hour of the day.
Yeah.
It's one thing that's great about the European section where it's like it's always on in the morning when nothing is happening. So
For sure. You just
And
got
it
to
is
get
a
up
sprint
early.
weekend. So 33 points are on the line here, which is
Yeah.
Max got all 33 at the last sprint weekend, and he's going to need them at this weekend if he wants any chance. It's feeling tough for him.
I
So we've been
still
doing these
believe in bro.
predictions. We haven't given any points or anything. That this is kind of the trial run. We're still feeling it out. Next year we might do a whole
Yeah, we could do like a little
title
like
fight for
points.
us here.
Yeah. Little points competition. Someone can get a trophy made by me. put it in the back of their setup.
A trophy.
Yeah, you do. You want a trophy, bro.
Yeah,
Trust
you can
me.
get winner gets a flag. Winner gets a flag.
Fire. Winner gets an awesome custom made flag by me.
So I decided to add an extra category. So we had the surprise and the disaster. The original intention of surprise was that it was supposed to be a driver like outperforming expectations, and it kind of became just like we were predicting any kind of surprise. So I've added another category. I don't have a name for it, but it's going to be actually for that. So there's like the good who does good category. That'll be like a driver that overperforms their expectation, kind of, or an expectation that would be set. Surprise will be what we've been doing there. So it can be
So it could be
any
like
combination of those. And then we have our disaster.
so like a driver of the day and then like a surprise.
Kind of, but not necessarily. You're not like predicting or picking who you think the driver of the day is. It's like if I said that I thought like last year, if you came into the race and said, I think the good surprise will be Pierre Gasly, you would have been obviously correct because he ended up getting a podium.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Max was the best driver at the track last year, so he got driver of the day. So this is like good. This is like it's someone who just kind of surprised the expectations originally.
Yeah,
so.
someone who doesn't do very well race wise that just happens to
not even
outperform our
necessarily
expectations.
True. I wouldn't even say it's necessarily true because you could predict like Oscar would be a valid one to pick for a like good kind of surprise thing because he's been so underperforming that if he was to win the race, that would be like a really good weekend for him. So you can and obviously we can argue whether someone deserved to get that right or not.
Yeah, that'll
definitely
be happening, in the future between us.
But that would be a pleasant surprise if Oscar, like if you predicted that and then he went on to win the race on Sunday.
Yeah, because it would. I mean, it wouldn't really be.
That would fit the criteria.
Yeah, because he's
out
not
of
been
the
winning.
norm of what's been set recently.
That's true.
And like even Max, if you said Max was going to have a really good week, and then he does what he did at the last sprint weekend, where he wins the sprint and wins the race and gets pole in both, I think that's just too good that you would have to side.
Yeah,
but that's the general rule for that thumb. So Corbin, we'll start it off. Sprint pole position Friday, I think. Yes, Friday. Who is getting sprint pole?
Sprint pole, George Russell, baby. Dude, the Mercedes are always quick here. George is pretty good in the wet always, so I wouldn't put it past him. Yeah, George Russell's my pick. What about you?
It's gonna get sprint pole.
It's a pretty good take.
He needs it. He's got to have it. He's got to have the sprint pole. Let's see. Do you want to go straight into the sprint race, or do you want to skip to after the sprint race for pole position for the actual race? What are you feeling here?
Let's go in order. So we'll go to the sprint race.
Okay, I will pick. Who do I think is going to get P3 in the sprint race? I think this is where we will get. Give me Leclerc.
Okay.
Charles Leclerc.
All right,
here.
getting silly a little bit.
I think Ferrari's not as bad as it looked like they were going to be. The fact that they even survived Coda in and of itself was like a miracle.
Yeah.
So I think that means that they've turned a corner at least a little bit. I don't think they necessarily have an incredible, amazing car, but it's clearly not as bad as it felt like it could have been at this point. So who do you think is getting P3 in the sprint?
P3? I'm going to get silly here. I'm going to get silly just a little bit. And I'm going to say... Sorry, dumb. I'm going to say Fernando Alonso I feel like Fernando's always really solid at this track, and also, the Aston seems to do okay at this track. So I don't know. I'm feeling something.
All right,
Fernando Alonso.
What about sprint P2?
Franco, no, definitely, probably. I'll probably go Lando. Actually, no, I'm gonna go George.
All right. Well, my sprint 2 is going to be who you were about to say. I think it'll be Lando Norris in sprint position number 2, taking home 7 points.
Mm-hmm.
And who is winning the sprint race? Who's beating George?
Max.
Of course it is. Womp womp. That's exactly what I have. But I have him doing it from pole. Do you have him getting from second to first in the sprint? Or?
Yeah. He'd like if
All
George gets pole, Max is gonna be close behind. Max is gonna end up passing him because Max is a demon. That's my pick.
Yeah, but George ain't letting that happen. Let's be
real.
George taking him out with him.
George
ain't about to
let
that slide. Let's Osama bin Russell.
Yeah, Osama bin Russell. Jeez, it's been too long, bro. It's been too long of a break.
It's Kimi Taliban.
Yeah, Kimi Talibanelli.
That's who you're thinking of. All right. Pole position in the actual race. It's gonna be Just kidding. It's not gonna be Max Verstappen. Lando freaking Norris, P1, after coming in second in the sprint. He's got to have something to prove this weekend. I believe he was on pole actually last year, but he's got to have something to prove this weekend because this track has some bad memories from him. And if he wants to prove that he is a championship driver, no better way to do it than Sao Paulo in the wets with Max Verstappen not 17 places behind, but only a few places behind this time.
Yeah.
Who do you think is getting pole?
See, this is tough because I wanna say either George or Max again. I'm gonna say Max. I think Max sticks it on pole this year.
I already typed that down. I actually already typed that down because I knew that's what you were gonna say.
All right, bro.
Actually read you like a book there, buddy. So
I mean, greatest driver of all time, chat. So,
but pole position, one thing. Who's getting third? What's the podium? Who's P3 on the podium? Who's the last car that gets up there?
I'm gonna say P3, Lando Norris. Lando takes P3.
All right, Lando P3. Where do you think he's qualifying?
Probably Lando will probably be like P3. P3.
Okay, so you think he's just gonna stay neutral to the
yeah.
cars? All right, my P3. Normally this would probably be where I'd put Oscar. I said last race, I'm not putting Oscar on the podium until he shows me he gets it. So I'm not doing that. I'm instead going to make a far worse prediction because, bro, it's got to happen at some point. Lewis Hamilton, podium.
Okay, yeah.
He's got to get one at some point in a Ferrari. Like, surely he doesn't go without a podium in a Ferrari. So I think this track makes a lot of sense for that.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, dude, seriously, he's got to get one. It's
about time.
He's got to get one.
Max got more podiums than a Ferrari, bro.
It will only be P3, and he will not be able to pass. He will not be able to pass his old rival, who will get P2, which is Max Verstappen. That's who I have coming in second place. It'll be Max. I think he'll be very quick. I just don't think he will have the pace that he's going to need to beat a different car, which I'm sure we all know.
Yeah.
The Alpines. All right, who's your P2?
My P2. Well, wait. So I picked Lando. P2. Right now, you kind of got me on this Lewis Hamilton train, like in the back of my mind, but nah.
Got the propaganda.
I want to spread Pierre Gasly propaganda so bad, but it won't happen again. I
don't even think what happened last year would even work. I think the car's too slow. They would get that red flag and be P2 and P3, and they would still end up last somehow.
Nah, bro. They are boats. It's an actual boat. Boats float on water. That's why I'm picking.
I don't think it even floats fast.
No, it wouldn't. It's like a paddle boat, bro.
Bro, they would try if they made an Alpine boat, they would put it in the water, like, right out like, how McLaren's got that pond out in front of their, like, facility. They'd try to test it on that, and then it would just sink immediately.
Nah, dude, it would just like it would just break in half and just float down. You see Pierre just get out with an oar. He just starts paddling over to the side.
Nice. Alright, who's getting P2? And why is it Franco Colapinto?
Because I've always been I love Franco Colapinto. We've known this. No. My pick is I'm gonna get silly. I'm gonna say Oscar Piastri is gonna get P2. I think he's gonna come back with a
Wow.
I think he's gonna come back with a little bit of fire.
From where? From where though? Where? Because you got Max P1, you have Lando P3. I'm assuming George is up there somewhere on that poll on that qualifying. Unless you think you're predicting George is gonna have a bad qualifying.
I don't know. Something's telling me Oscar P2. I'm feeling it like right here.
All right, that's fine. I think the winner, right? Max P2, Lewis P3, Valtteri Bottas, Hambot Ver Big 2025.
Boom. Come on now.
No. Obviously, I'm joking. Obviously, Kick Sauber wins here. It's
obviously.
Lando's going to come from pole and win the race. I think that will he be the fastest at the track? Maybe not. Probably be Max, just going off of logic. But I think his car will be the fastest. And I think Lando's shown if he can hold the lead after turn 1, and even if he can't, sometimes if he has the pace, but if he can hold the lead after turn 1, and he's got the faster car, he is just as good at leading a pack as a guy like Matt. Now, Max is probably better because Max just never stops going fast when he's leading.
Right.
But he's just as good as a Hamilton or a Max when it comes to having the best car and actually utilizing it in the front, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I think Lando survives. Maybe he'll survive turn 1, but I think he eventually will get back into first. I think he'll cruise off into the distance, deal with the rain, and put a massive chunk onto the title fight because I think we might be due for some Oscar tragedy. But you have Oscar actually beating Lando and retaking the championship lead. Yes, you do because
Yeah.
depending on what happens in the sprint, because you don't have either McLaren in top 3 in the sprint because you have Alonso. So who is winning this race?
We all know what I was gonna say. We all knew Alex Albon was gonna turn up, bro. We all been knowing this. Gabriel Bortoleto and him are gonna have a crazy battle. No, I'm kidding. Max is obviously gonna win.
Fake prediction thing. You can't.
Well, I actually did the fake prediction first because I actually did the Franco Colapinto thing. You stole my bit originally, and then you added onto it. So I just decided to run back my bit because it's my bit.
Okay. Hey, in fairness, predicting an Alpine average placing over the last 365 days at Sao Paulo, P2 and P3
is P2 and P3.
So that may not have been a fake. That may not have been a fake bit, and I know, but mine was clearly a bit, and yours wasn't. Let's be real here, buddy.
Yeah, but if last year's Alpine could get a 2-3, then you bringing it up bring up a Sauber. I mean, that's pretty much the same thing.
Speaking of the Alpine double podium, right? Who is overperforming? What's the good? You might have answered your question a bit with your earlier prediction, but who do you have? What's your good surprise? Who's surprising you? Who's pleasantly surprising you?
Listen, y'all
this weekend.
And y'all got to listen to me. This isn't glaze. This is me being real. When water strikes the track, in that boat of a car, Pierre Gasly locks in. I think Pierre Gasly is going to actually score points this weekend. That's my prediction.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, no, you said it. You put it on. You put the caveat on. I would have given you Pierre P14 as a good surprise, by the way. But
no, he's scoring points.
You know what? Yeah, I would have literally given you. He was P19 by only 3 seconds for a good drive. But all right, you put the caveat on, so he's got to get points.
The caveat's there.
He's got how many? Like, are we just sprint or the Grand Prix, or just you're saying he's going to score a singular point at least throughout the whole weekend?
He's going to score a singular point.
Fine, I'll allow it.
Yeah, you're gonna allow it. He's in the worst car I've ever seen.
Yeah, but you can get sprint cheese, bro, sprint cheese.
All right. Okay, you don't even have to count the sprint because I'm so confident he's gonna score a point.
No, you said it. You said it.
I'll say it. I'm getting silly. I don't even care.
You said it. All right, Grand Prix only. That's what I'm putting. You said it. Grand Prix only.
He's gonna win
All
the
right.
race. He's gonna win the sprint race, and then I'm gonna be wrong.
All right, these predictions is screwed. So my disaster pick has been where I'd have my gut reading and then I wouldn't do it, and it would screw me. So I'm not gonna. We'll worry about that when I get there. Who's my good surprise? So I said I'm just taking first thing that comes in my head, bro. I'm doubling that. It's Lewis Hamilton. Lewis Hamilton
Yeah.
he's gonna get on a podium. That'll be a pleasant surprise. Be a nice surprise. It's Hamilton. All right. It's gonna be Lewis. All right. He's got to do it. He's got to do it at some point. Surely he's got to be out of ads and magazines to Aura Farm photos in front of. He's probably dialed in now. He's gonna get on the podium. Lewis Hamilton. But what's my big shocker moment of the weekend? I've had some absolute disaster picks here. We all remember the VSC slash the no VSC pick slash all classified finishers at Mexico.
Everyone will finish pick, and someone literally, retired in the first lap. But it's fine. We're not gonna talk about that or bring that up.
What would I go with here? What about Haas full wets? I don't know. This one's tough. Let me think. You know what? I will double it. There will be a kick Sauber in Q3. There will be a kick in Q3. How do you feel about that?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I could definitely 100% see it happening.
That'd be surprising, wouldn't it?
Yeah, to an extent.
Would you be surprised?
I wouldn't be like, oh no way. I'll just be like, oh, that's cool.
Hey, buddy, just because you're the one who put Pierre Gasly's gonna score points,
because I got a feeling, bro. I got a feeling.
Doesn't mean everything needs to reach your insane expectations. All right.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you want me to name a specific kick driver?
No. If you want to stick with Sauber, that would be fairly surprising considering they are not super great at this track in recent memory. So the car is not built for this, and yeah. Okay. I'll give you that.
What is your big surprise / shocking moment from this weekend that you think is gonna happen?
Well, so I'm not gonna repick the Pierre Gasly pick, obviously. So instead, I'm gonna go with.
Hey, Alpine double points.
Saying Franco Colapinto to score a point might be insane. Actually, no. Wait, is this my disaster? What? Wait,
no,
what?
This is your surprise.
This is my surprise. Okay, that's gotta be different then. Okay,
you can pick a disaster, but it's not your disaster.
Okay,
pick,
my surprise.
This is just something shocking that will happen.
My surprise of the weekend is that. Someone in the big three constructors, so Mercedes, Ferrari, McLaren, one of them is going to crash during qualifying.
Okay.
Are you going to count that? Is that good?
Yeah, I mean so Mercedes, Ferrari, or McLaren qualifying crash. What? Yeah, I should be able to read with that. Hopefully, I remember what that abbreviation I just put means on Sunday.
I'll try to remember. It'll be fine.
All right. All right. You got to go back to back here. Your last pick for the weekend. Who is your disaster class of the weekend? What's your horrific performance pick?
Rain's out on the track. Tons of rookies out there. We know someone's going to get silly. And I fear that Talibinelli is going to cause an insane crash on track, whether that's him by himself just demolishing his car, or if he maybe gets into it with someone else and they both just, go belly up.
I will not hold you
that.
to Kimi has to crash. It'll just be Kimi is your disaster class driver for the weekend. Doesn't necessarily have to crash. You're obviously predicting. You think he's going to crash, But if he gets P17 and finishes the race, that's obviously a disaster.
That's obviously very bad.
Weekend for him. So that just establishing. Whereas you earlier said Pierre Gasly is going to score points, and that will be
During the race, not the
in
sprint,
the Grand
the
Prix.
actual
Yeah,
race.
in the Grand Prix.
Don't you
My
forget.
disaster. This is the one. So I said I should have picked Alpine last weekend because it was like I was gonna pick him, and you were like, "Nah, they'd have to be like 40 seconds off the pace," and then they were 40 seconds off the pace. So I'm going with my gut for this pick from now on. I'm going with my gut, and the problem is my gut isn't telling me anyone other than Alpine. But bro, surely this is how I got screwed last time by not picking them. Surely they aren't that how them being guaranteed P19 and P20 means it was like team orders for an embarrassing position
Mm-hmm.
what would have won it, and then they were so far off the pace. A DNF, double DNF, double pit lane start. There's got to be something. My gut's screaming Alpine, so I'm going to make up for my pick last time and go with Alpine.
No, your gut's screaming Alpine because they're gonna do well. You don't understand, bro. The boats.
That's not what happened last week.
The boats can float.
Last race, sorry, not last week.
But there's water, bro.
Yeah, well, it's raining, and neither of us mentioned anything about Lance Stroll. So,
well, because that's not even a surprise pick. Water hits the track, and this dude just locks in. He was gonna be my surprise pick, but then like I remembered this is like my only opportunity to support the boys in blue and pink back there. So
it's just not. It's statistically the exact same probability every time because they were 99.99% gonna get P19 and P20, and then it's that other point. So really, nothing's changed. It's just 1 year. It's just last year they got extremely lucky.
I actually would call that skill, but might just be me.
That was not what Max did last year. Was skill. He still had to overtake a crap ton of.
No. Pierre Gasly started P14. Let's not forget about this.
How'd we get here? How'd we get here?
Yeah.
What happened? Yeah, bro.
How'd we get here? Yeah,
Listen,
that was Alpine. Max was like sitting there like he knew what was going on. They were just like, oh.
Franco, big crash. Pit now. Yeah. That's pretty much what happened, which that was fire.
All right. That's our predictions for this upcoming race. Is there anything that you got to add to our preview for the race?
No. I don't think I got anything. I just think it's this race every year is fire. Like, even if there's not rain, I don't know why. Oh, there's like 72 overtakes last year, which in today's F1 standard, it's pretty good. Which I didn't say that in my previous analytics. But this race is going to be fire. So this is not one I want to miss or anyone should miss.
Cool. Enough said. I don't have anything else. So
you don't got anything? Well,
nope.
Sick. W. All right. Well, we want to thank you guys for joining us on a Simply Lovely podcast. If you want to, go check out my new Instagram, TikTok, and you can also find me on YouTube with this @ it is @ Corbins Collective. You can find all my little shorts and reels I've been making. Quick shameless plug from me. Caleb, you want to plug anything before we head off here?
No.
Check the link in his bio. Both of our links in the bio. But we want to thank you guys so much for joining us, and we hope you have a wonderful day. Peace.
Bye-bye.
I knew you were going to do that.